Welcome to Face Reality's Debunking Pseudoscience. So what is pseudoscience? What? Sorry. Why are you still stuck on the wall? All right, let's try this again. Welcome to Face Reality's Debunking Pseudoscience. So first, what does pseudo mean? Something fake, past as being real. A fraud, all right? What is pseudoscience? A collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on the scientific method. The scientific method is a method of procedure that has characterized natural science. And natural science is the establishment of cause for phenomena through the scientific method. See this lovely big blue marble right here? The beautiful deep blue, the beautiful white clouds, the land masses, and the big blackness of space. Something seems off with this image. I wonder what it could be.
In science, we always say that you make observations, you have a theory, you go make more observations, and it's a very, very tedious process. Wrong. Nobody that I know of in my field uses the so-called scientific method.
What? Michio Kaku, can you please repeat that for me?
Nobody that I know of in my field uses the so-called scientific method.
Nobody in his field that he knows of uses the scientific method? His field is astrophysics, which is a branch of astronomy. And astronomy deals with outer space, celestial objects, the universe as a whole. That would include this right here. So if nobody in his field that he knows of uses the scientific method, then pseudoscience then. That means this right here, the issue I had with this image is about to be validated. See this blue stuff and this white stuff next to the black stuff? That's an impossibility. QE, tell them.
See the black stuff out here, all around here? That's a vacuum of space, according to your horse shit. If that were true, then all this white stuff and the blue stuff kind of wouldn't be there. Hello, McFly!
They're taking these now every 10 to 15 minutes.
From a fairy tale second law of thermodynamics violation, vacuum. No, they're not. I could say, like I said, I just stop them every time with the blue and the white. What else you want me to do? It stops right there. That's a rate limiting step.
Also, why isn't the moon lit? Why isn't the moon lit? It should be a full moon.
What about the white stuff and the blue stuff, Dave? Why is that there? How about that? Than worrying about whether the moon's lit or not. Right? You could have dashed this out right from the beginning and put them, put the heels to them. Because this whole heliocentric ball-tard religion would just vaporize right there. It'd be in a checkmate. Right out the gate. Yeah, see the black stuff next to the white stuff and the blue stuff? It's a paradox. Hello? Is there anybody out there?
See this line, though, yeah?
Joke, man.
There's a purple line. Look at it right here and here. So just go along the edge and you'll see there's another one there.
Okay, well,
Yoo-hoo! The black stuff! Now there's a lot of black stuff with Some deep blue and white stuff.
A picture with your clock at a certain, a really unique cloud formation. You can go on Himawari 8 or Go 16, and you can see that same cloud formation.
Agreed.
So what? That doesn't mean it's taken from a fairy tale vacuum. What about a hot air balloon? What about the balloons in the air, looking down on the earth, taking pictures, right? You haven't ruled that out, you numpty dipshit. Is this purposeful? I don't get into motives or intents, but 7 years you'd figured you'd know about the vacuum of space, right? Being next to Earth with water and clouds and gas. Isn't this like just fundamental 101 flat Earth? You could just thrash him. And then the conversation wouldn't go on any further because he's stuck.
Because gases in water must be contained. From a hot air balloon height, a few miles high, skydiver height, GoPro lens, you just put the camera down, take a picture, get a black cutout, and you got your circle, a globe. Don't believe everything you see, especially on TV. It's pretty cool, right? Here's the Earth from Moon photo. I'm gonna do it myself in about 20 seconds. Pardon the interruption. Pardon the interruption. Rare footage of man walking on space. See? Space is real. It's right here. Space is real, yeah. So let's get back to the problem with this globe here. So we got this white stuff and blue stuff next to black stuff. So on Earth, we breathe high pressure gas, right? And anytime you've ever seen gases, it comes in a container. Whether you buy a propane tank or a helium balloon or a basketball, volleyball, whatever. It's always contained. And if you puncture any of them, there's no more gas pressure. So how are we breathing gas pressure if it's next to a vacuum without a container? There's no container here, right? And the blue part is water. Anytime we've ever seen water and dealt with water, it's always got to be contained. If there's no contained water, it falls down. Hence, water falls. A waterfall. Rain falls. The little shape it's in when it comes is irrelevant because it hits the ground and it levels out. Levels out. So water on this image is making a ball shape and there's no container. What's the reason that this water and this gas in clouds can exist next to a vacuum and take a spherical shape? They say, we're told, gravity. Well, what is gravity?
Here's the definition of gravity: the force that attracts a body toward the center of the earth or toward any other physical body having mass.
Okay, so the reason why the blue and the white stuff can exist next to the black stuff is the force called gravity, correct? All right. Wait a minute. Did you know that definition of mass attracting mass was replaced 108 years ago?
What?
By
General relativity, also known as the general theory of relativity and Einstein's theory of gravity, is the geometric theory of gravitation published by Albert Einstein in 1915 and is the current description of gravitation in modern physics.
The current description of gravitation in modern physics.
The current description of gravitation in modern physics.
Okay, so gravity as mass attracting mass was replaced by the general theory of relativity. It's no big deal, right? Let's find out what that is.
In general relativity, gravity is not a force between masses. Instead, gravity is an effect of the warping of space and time in the presence of mass.
Uh-oh. So gravity is not a force then in general relativity.
Gravity is an effect of the warping of space and time in the presence of mass.
Right? Okay, so there's no force holding the blue stuff and the white stuff next to the black stuff. It's the curvature of space-time. And I'm sure that's been scientifically validated, correct? It must be natural science, correct? Has to be, right?
I mean, for general relativity to be validated as a scientific theory, it would have to be validated by experiment on or before the publishing date, right? So it can be inside the paper, right? Because to be a scientific theory, you have to have validated experiment. That's what a scientific theory is. So all this is just nonsense. If you can't come up with a hypothesis and a scientific experiment validated on or before 1915, November 15th, then it's just a fairy tale. It's as simple as that.
And guess what? The general theory of relativity was never validated by experiment. See where it says full of mathematical detail? Guess what? Math is not science.
From the Feynman Lectures, Nobel laureate physics. Mathematics is not a science from our point of view, in the sense that it is not a natural science. The test of its validity is not experiment. Ooh, you hear that? This one. This is deep. It's so profound, it's going to make your head spin. So according to Richard Feynman, for something to be natural science, guess what? Its validity must be affirmed by experiment.
So the general theory of relativity was never validated by experiment. So it's not a scientific theory. Plus, math isn't science. So, we still have yet to figure out why this blue and white stuff can exist next to the black stuff. So on Earth, we got clouds and air we breathe, all the different gases, right? You know there's gas law, and they're all experimental laws. This is what gases would do in reality. See the word container? It's the necessary antecedent. Gases must be contained. And if they're not, they would escape into the vacuum. That's how gas behaves. Period. Not to mention, in this open system, vacuum next to a gas pressure environment, the vacuum would start at sea level. That means we will all be suffocated immediately. There will be no life on Earth. There will be no air to breathe. Because in the very beginning, we're told, it started off as a rock, and then gases were produced from the rock and expanded outwards. Well, you have the sea level, Earth, right next to the vacuum from the very beginning. So the gas pressure we actually have could never develop in the first place because there's no container over this globe. Think about it. All right, so that leaves the blue stuff on this image, the water. Well, first things first, water is a liquid. It is fluid. Water has no shape. The problem is, this is a shape right here, a circle or a ball, and there's no container. Water, liquids in general, must have a container. And when they're in the container, regardless of the shape of the container, water takes the shape of the container that it's in. I want you to read this and comprehend really, really well. Despite taking up the shape of the container, liquids have a flat top surface. Ooh. That means when water is in a container, it must be flat at the surface when it's at rest. Check this out. Level, flat, perfectly horizontal, flat as a pancake. Do you see the word curve anywhere? Ball? I don't. Level means flat. Horizontal, and also plane. The earth plane. Not planet. Just take off the T. This is reality. Get it? All right, so water is just a liquid, right? Liquids flow downstream, right? Rivers flow downstream. They will flow downward until they settle in whatever basin it may be in, and then it's level at the top. So, what's the problem with this? It's not flowing anywhere, it's making a ball. Well, we already disproved each gravity as the reason why this is happening. So what's the reason why this is happening? There's no reason, because it's not happening. That's not how water behaves. This is how water behaves. Now, look at this again. This image makes no logical sense for a fluid, for a liquid. There is no ball water other than a bubble. A bubble is hollow and it simply pops, correct? We don't live in a bubble, okay? Trillions and trillions of tons of ocean water. Doing this, that's not how water behaves. Number one, there's no vacuum for water to be in to make this shape. Number two, you'll never see water look like this anywhere on Earth. You'll see all this happening with water, okay? Take any bottle of water, pour it out of it, it's gonna fall down. Put it down a sliding board, it's gonna flow down. This is easily demonstrable. Water does not behave like this. Once this sinks in, you'll understand how ridiculous this is. There's no science that's gonna prove this, okay? You can't do an experiment to prove this, okay? You can't, period. Exactly. So in conclusion, this is science fiction, not real. There's no outer space, there's no globe anywhere in reality, only on TV, in sci-fi movies. You've never been there yourself, and the people who claim to have been there is a select few among billions of people who've ever lived and died. Think about that. You just can't book a ticket there, no matter how much money you got, because there's nowhere to go. You can book a ticket anywhere else you want to go to on Earth, besides there, because there is no there to go to. All right? So everything you learned in school about outer space and space travel and all these little books, throw it out the window. All right? All your little astrophysicists are liars. Who is this?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
What's up?
Why don't you come by and say some of those things to my face?
Say it to his face. I got you.
The Earth is flat, and space is fake, and you guys are liars.
Remember, I'm the guy who kicked Pluto out of the solar system.
I don't care what you kicked out of the solar system. There's no solar system. It's pseudoscience. You are a pseudoscientist. All right? Anyway.
You think you're funny?
Yeah, I am funny.
And also a realist.
Be gone. So yeah, outer space is fake. There is no ball water or ball air anywhere on Earth, okay? Hope you enjoyed the video.
Face reality?
Yeah, Kiwi, what's up? Did you like the video?
This is outstanding.
Thank you, man. I could have done it without you. I said we get out of here, all right?
Yeah, okay.
But before we do, what was that phrase you called those astrophysics books again? Can you repeat that for me?
This antiquated physics glossary, pin the tail on the numpty PhD ball-tart clown show charade, is fixing to be eclipsed.
It's already been eclipsed, man. Good job, man.
And remember, I'll be back.